Morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session. We are diving into one of the most iconic episodes of the BBC Sherlock series, The Hounds of Baskerville. Now, this isn't just a detective story, it's a brilliant study in how we have a Victorian Gothic masterpiece and drag it into the 21st century, blending old school horror with modern chemical warfare and psychological tension. So let's get started. Now, the setting of the scene, which is a modern twist on our classical tale. To understand this episode, we have to look at its roots. Mark Gatiss took Arthur Conan Doyle's 1902 novel and completely reimagined it for our digital age. Now, originally aired in 2012, this 88-minute thriller moved away from the idea of ghosts and instead focused on the technical sophistication of modern suspense. Now, notice how director Paul McGuigan uses atmospheric tension to make the setting feel as dangerous as the mystery itself. Now, moving on, we look into the concepts where the mystery begins. Okay? Now, our story begins with Henry Knight. Henry is a man living in a nightmare. Now, 20 years ago, he watched his father get mauled by something impossible on the Dartmoor moors. Now, giant footprints have appeared and his sanity is slipping. This is a classic hook. Is it a monster or is it a memory? We don't know. Now, Henry brings this impossible problem uh, to the only man who lives for the impossible, that is Sherlock Holmes. Now, uh, the dark heart of Dartmoor. Now, the setting shifts to Baskerville, but it's no longer just an old manor house. In this version, it's a top secret Ministry of Defense research facility. Now, this is a brilliant modern update. Now, instead of family curses, where we are looking at government secrets, genetic engineering, and bioweapons. Now, Sherlock has to use his brother um, microbes credentials just to get inside, highlighting the high stakes nature of this investigation. Now, Sherlock's shaken confidence. Now, what happens is this is the turning point of the episode. Okay, for the first time, we see the unshakable Sherlock Holmes truly terrified. He sees the hound with his own eyes, and as students of literature and film, pay attention to this. Okay, even a man of pure logic can be hacked by fear. This moment humanizes Sherlock and forces us to ask if the world's most rational man is screaming, how can we trust what's real? So now moving on to the key characters. So we have Sherlock struggling with his own fallibility, John Watson, the moral, military anger who keeps the investigation grounded, Henry Knight, our traumatized witness, and Dr. Stapleton, whose genetic expertise provides the scientific backbone of the case. Each character represents a different side of the conflict between science, trauma, and logic. Now, the visual and production highlights that are given in the series. Now, technically, this episode is a masterpiece. The cinematographer Fabian Wagner used the fog of Dartmoor to create a sense of claustrophobia, even in wide open spaces. Now, the Hound itself was a massive challenge for the VFX team. They had to blend CGI with practical effects to make sure the monster felt visceral and real enough to justify the character's terror. Okay. Now, the plot twist and revelations. Now, for the Eureka moment, Sherlock realizes HOUND, hound, isn't a creature. It's an acronym for the 1960s CIA project. Now, the monster is actually an aerosolized chemical gas that triggers the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. Now, the glowing eyes, what is that? Just infrared goggles worn by a scientist. Now, this is the ultimate reveal. The monster isn't in the woods, it's a chemical reaction in mind. Now, the legacy behind these hounds. Now, in conclusion, The Hounds of Baskerville stands as a masterpiece of genre blending. It proved that you don't need ghosts to create a horror story. You just need to understand the human mind. It left us with a deeper understanding of Sherlock's vulnerability and set a new standard for how we adapt classic literature for a modern tech-savvy audience. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this session. And this is all about the series, The Hounds of Baskerville. Thank you and have a great day.